Yo, what's going down, everybody? It is straight out of Boston here, aka the King of Boston, and today we're back with episode 12 of the Around the League series, and today we're doing the Denver Nuggets, and once again, playing Burns. He's using the Milwaukee Bucks with some ridiculous uniforms that I'd never seen before, and obviously I'm using the Denver Nuggets, so let's just get straight into this. Now, the Denver Nuggets were surprisingly picked to go to the NBA Finals by ESPN The Magazine in their NBA preview season, preseason edition or whatever. And I thought that was a little bit ridiculous, but not totally. A lot of people are stunned by it, but I get an idea of where they're coming from on this. Now, this team certainly has a lot of talent, and they also have an extreme home court advantage playing in the Mile High or whatever. What am I trying to say? The air's thin up there. It's very hard to win if you're not adjusted to it, if you're not kind of used to it. So, obviously, a team like Denver who plays there 41 times a year is going to be kind of adjusted to it, and they're gonna kind of know how to play there and how to win there. And they have a huge home court advantage. They have one of the best home courts in the NBA, and this is a team that has had one of the probably the toughest schedule to start the year, the first 35 games or whatever of the season. Although it's going to start easing up soon. They play a lot of home games. They were playing a lot of road games to start the year, but they're starting to play a lot of home games. This is a team that I think is going to go on a run or two in the near future. Probably reel off 7-8 wins in a row. Maybe do that once or twice. We'll see. But this is a team that I think is a good team. Now let's get into the roster here. I'll start out at the point guard position. Ty Lawson, I believe, was a late first-round draft pick a few years back. He was amazing at UNC, but he was undersized and was not the best shooter coming out of UNC. But he's really improved his outside shot. He's, like I said, very, very fast. He can get to the rim on almost anybody. He's only 5'11". At least he's listed at that. I think he's more like 5'10" or 5'9" or something. I mean, dude is small. But he's very, very good, very fast. He's turned himself into a very good point guard for the Denver Nuggets. Still developing, and I think he was definitely deserved of that 4-year, $40 million contract extension he got before this season started. Now, the shooting guard position, they have a new acquisition this year in Andre Iguodala. Andre Iguodala is I believe, 29-year-old. He's turning 29, actually, in like a week or two. His birthday is on January 28th, as I'm looking at it right now in my web browser. But anyway, Andre Iguodala, obviously, I don't know if we want to call him a superstar in the league, but he made the U.S. Olympic team. He was an all-star last year, I do believe. He's very athletic. He's a supreme defender. He's obviously going to improve that team's defense, which really struggled last year. And he's a good player. I don't know if it's what the Nuggets needed, though. I know the Nuggets wanted to improve their defense. Aaron Aflalo is a good defender, but Andre Iguodala is certainly a much better one. When I bring up Aaron Aflalo, because it was basically Aaron Aflalo and Al Harrington for Andre Iguodala in the 3-team deal that they did. I don't know if they gave up any draft picks or whatever. I'm sure they did, but anyway, Andre Iguodala is supreme defender, one of the best defenders in the NBA. But he's not that good of a scorer, and he's more of a point forward in that he kind of brings the ball up. He gets about 5 or 6 assists a game and 4 or 5 rebounds or so, around that margin. But he's only been averaging 12 to 13 points per game this year, I do believe. I haven't checked my fantasy team in a while, but he is on that, and I believe that's what he's getting around. And I don't think that's what the Nuggets needed. I think the Nuggets maybe should have stuck with Aaron Aflalo and tried to turn Aflalo into more of a 20-point scorer, which I think he has potential to be. I've seen him play with the Magic this year. When he gets the ball in his hands, he seems like he's a very good player. He can create his own shot and can really be a go-to scorer on an NBA basketball team. But I don't know if you blame the Nuggets coaching staff, which I think is one of the best in the league personally. I watched the association for Denver Nuggets from last year, and it seems like it's very experienced and just I don't know what the word would be, but it just seems like a very good coaching staff. I'm a big fan of it. But I don't know what the story is on that. If the Nuggets just didn't like what they saw in Aaron Aflalo, I don't know. But anyway, Andre Iguodala is obviously a very good player and one that I'm sure they look to move forward with in the coming years. Even though I think he's on an expiring contract, so I don't know if they'll re-sign him after this year. But anyway, Wilson Chandler is someone who was a young and developing star. He was in the Carmelo Anthony trade, of course. And it seemed like, the Nuggets were getting a nice young piece for the future when he was traded for. Now, he went over and played in China last year during the lockout and did not return to the NBA until about March or April, I do believe. And, man, he has not been the same player since he went over to China. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he had a bad coach in China trying to teach him new things or something. I honestly can't figure it out. But this guy was, he's a great defender. He's got a decent, offensive game. It's not one that's going to be like, spectacular or whatever. But he was looking like he was going to develop into maybe a less athletic version of Andre Iguodala, maybe with a better shot. But, and he just, I don't know what happened to him, but he has really struggled. He's been hurt a lot, too. I mean, that's obviously part of it, but I don't know. I think this guy still has room to develop. I've seen the potential that he's had. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's in his 5th year. He's 26, 20. No, what am I trying to say? Yeah, is he 26? No, I don't know. I think he might be. I can't do the math. I'm terrible at math, guys. I apologize. I think he might be 26. But anyway, it's just, I don't know what happened to him, honestly. I can't explain it. But anyway, it's no point dwelling on him. Danilo Gallinari, another guy from the New York Knicks in that trade. He's 6'10", huge wingspan, but the Nuggets are trying to put him at power forward a little bit. I think he's better off starting at the shooting guard and trying to stay there. It's fine if they want to run a small lineup with him at the 4 and Chandler at the 3 once in a while, but I think you got to keep Gallo at the 3. He can't defend post players. He's not a post player himself. He's a spot up shooter. He's got 20-point potential easily. I mean, he had a stellar beginning of the year last year and could easily do that. I mean, he's just been inconsistent. He had a terrible start to the year this year. I think he's starting to find his stroke, though. I mean, he's definitely a hot, streaky shooter. Probably, I was going to say a better version of J.R. Smith, but actually they really don't play alike, so I'm not going to say that. But, yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Danilo Gallinari. I think he has a lot of potential, and hopefully the Nuggets can develop him very well or whatever. But Kenneth Faried, another guy who I'm very high on, was a late first-round pick last year. He has shown signs of incredible talent, incredible athleticism, great shot blocker. Well, not a great shot blocker, but he's a hustle player, and, that's how he gets a lot of his shot blocks. If he can develop a jump shot, if he can develop a bit better of a pick-and-roll game, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with, already averaging 12 and 10 this year, and has certainly a lot of room to grow. Now, the center position is very weird for the Denver Nuggets. They do kind of a weird combination of, they start Kosta Kufus, who, is 4th-year man out of Ohio State. I don't know really why they do this. I think part of it is because JaVale McGee is just not in very good shape, but JaVale McGee does come off of the bench. And it's interesting because JaVale McGee's per 36-minute averages are insane. He's only averaging about 20 minutes per game, but he's getting 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 blocks or so. So if you combine that to about a 36-minute average, that's like, 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 3.5 blocks? I mean, that's ridiculous. I don't know why George Karl refuses to start this guy. He's clearly much better than Kosta Kufus and Timofey Mozgov. I honestly don't get it. And, this is another complaint I have with the Nuggets coaching staff. I just don't know what they're doing here sometimes. As for the rest of the roster, Anthony Randolph, a young guy, was taken, early in the draft, had a lot of potential, hasn't really developed too well. Andre Miller's a savvy veteran. I really like him. Evan Fournier, I don't really know what they were thinking drafting him. They're already pretty deep at the shooting. Well, they're not too deep at the shooting guard spot, but I just don't know. I don't really like him too much. Jordan Hamilton is a guy who's never going to get any playing time on that team, but I think he has a lot of potential. And that's pretty much it. So, as for this team, I don't think they're title contenders yet. I think that they are a team that probably could win a playoff series, but I think that's honestly their peak. But anyway, that's pretty much it for me. So, I thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think of the Denver Nuggets. And as always, I'm out. Peace.